Few things feel as bad as oversleeping and being late to an important appointment. That happened to me one time in New York. I had just flown there from Los Angeles a couple days before, and I had a class that I was teaching at 7 o'clock that next morning. And I remember waking up in bed and thinking, wow, it's really bright for 5:30 in the morning. And then I looked at the clock and I realized that it was like 7:30 or something like that. So it turns out I accidentally set my alarm for PM instead of AM. And of course, now I had to rush and people were waiting and I got all these messages. And to make matters worse, I only had the room for a limited amount of time, which meant that I had to cut out some important content in order to fit everything in. And it was embarrassing, but I apologized and of course it all worked out. So when it comes to those kinds of mishaps, right, it's easy to feel bad, especially in the moment, but we also have to remember that those kinds of mistakes only really happen when we're trying something new, right? I was experimenting with teaching on both coasts, and that was a big leap of faith for me, both personally and financially. And that eventually led to me starting to travel all over the world and teach meditation. So if I hadn't taken that chance, I wouldn't have been in that position to expand it, and I certainly wouldn't be where I am right now. So that needs to be factored into the equation, right? The people who don't make mistakes are usually people who are risk averse or they just don't try anything new. Now, fast forward about 7 years, I'm teaching in Chicago, and it was a 7 a.m. session, and this guy was supposed to show up and let us into the office. And so there's a big group of us waiting outside. 7 o'clock comes and goes. The guy never shows up. So I start calling him and texting him and couldn't get a hold of him for whatever reason. Turns out he overslept. So when he finally showed up about 30 minutes late, he was so embarrassed. And I just looked at him and I said, look, man, I know exactly how you feel. Don't even worry about it. And that's the other thing. Being someone who makes mistakes, it makes you more forgiving. So I hope this week you make a mistake or two, because that probably means you're trying something new. And all it does is it makes you humbler, it makes you more compassionate. And I think that's what the world needs more of. People who aren't afraid to take a chance, people who are more compassionate, people who are more forgiving. Share this message with somebody out there who made a mistake recently. And otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for watching. I add new videos daily, so make sure you click to subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you want to see the next insight, just click on over to the right. You can also follow me on Instagram at LightWatkins, and I look forward to seeing you next time.